Education receives a boost as State Fund inaugurates projects at University of Jos. Industrial Training Fund takes step to reduce unemployment in the country. Governor Lalong calls for collaborative efforts in mitigating fire disaster. Welcome to News Panorama on NTA Jos Network Center. I am Felicia Daliub Samaila. Information and communication managers of the All Progressives Congress at all levels have been enjoined to ensure that they create a synergy among themselves in a bid to have a common pool where information can be accessed and circulated for the benefit of Nigerians who voted them into office. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed stated this at a meeting of the information managers of the party in Lagos. Anthony Forson reports.
Assembled here are information managers drawn from APC-controlled states across the country, and the forum is to take a look at contemporary challenges of information and communication management and chart a way forward. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, while chronicling the challenges associated with information management, conceded that with the emergence of new media, reaching out has become daunting.
Leveraging the new information and digital technology will undoubtedly facilitate our work as government information and communication managers. The multiplicity, immediacy, and pervasiveness of the platform of information dissemination means that we can reach more people much faster.
To this end, the minister explained that a wide range of programs have been initiated to enable the citizens interface and appreciate government.
In spite of the various programs have reeled out to project the achievements of the APC-led federal government, it is not uncommon to hear in certain circles that not enough is being done to publicize the administration's achievements.
Chairman, Progressive Governors Forum and Governor of Kebbi State, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, re-echoed the need for an effective media management.
I believe this is a good undertaking to communicate to Nigerians and to express our appreciation for Nigeria and further give them the assurance that we don't take their support for granted.
That it is very important that we get feedback from the people and be able to let it be an input in policy making as we go along.
Democratizing information management and building a robust platform for such purpose, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says it is the way to go.
Why I want to challenge you and leave you with that notion that the traditional means of communication, town hall meetings, regular media things, we should not push it behind. We should not think that in the new trends of things, they are now old-fashioned and they are not things that we cannot use again.
In attendance at the meeting are the Director General Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, Director General Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Director General Voice of Nigeria, and that of the NBC. In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Advisory Council IPAC has lauded President Buhari's directive to remit allocation directly to the third tier of government as democracy in action. National Chairman of the Council, Dr. Leonard Nzenwa, at a media briefing in Abuja, says that the third tier of government is the closest to the people and demands that the local government chairman judiciously utilize the funds. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Appraising the ongoing crimes and criminality in some parts of the country, the Inter-Party Advisory Council says it is alarmed by the spate of banditry in the northwest, which assumed grave proportion after the 2015 general election. IPAC notes that more worrisome is the southeast, which until now was relatively peaceful, but has been engulfed by security challenges and deliberate destruction of national assets.
The Council counsels the government to attend to the cry of Nigerians for inclusivity and appeals to all those fomenting trouble in the country to desist from it and to allow peace to reign. We are sure these troublemakers are human beings like every one of us.
The council further enjoins INEC to redouble its effort as much is expected from them ahead of the November 6, 2021 Anambra governorship election, which will be a litmus test for the Ekiti and Osun governorship elections in 2022, and ultimately the 2023 general election, for which the commission created new polling units to fast-track voting processes in the state and across the nation. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has released the results of candidates who sat in more than 720 CBT centers for the 2021 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination conducted between Saturday 19th and Tuesday 22nd June 2021. A statement by the board's head of information and protocols, Dr. Benjamin Fabian, advised concerned candidates to check their results by sending UTME results to 55019 through the GSM number they used to obtain profile code and UTME registration with the board, and their results would be relayed to them. The board notes with satisfaction that the utilization of NIN, National Identification Number, has helped in curbing examination malpractices, as the 2021 UTME has recorded the least incidence of irregularities since the inception of the CBT examination in Nigeria. Federal government says quality infrastructure is key for improved academic performance. The Executive Secretary, TED Fund, Professor Suleiman Elias Bogoro, was speaking at the inauguration of projects at the University of Jos. Belkisu Nuhu has details.
Facilities inaugurated include a 500-seating capacity auditorium, twin lecture theaters, as well as virtual learning and innovation hub for agricultural research, faculties of veterinary medicine, natural science, and agriculture. Professor Bogoro, who was elated by the quality of the structure, commended the management of the institution and contractors for a good job. He says education institutions of higher learning around the globe are rated by the quality of infrastructure, hence the need to put in place standard facilities for teaching and learning.
It is the quality of faculty and the quality of research infrastructure, these two, that give this consistent and sustainable rating and ranking for universities.
Former Vice Chancellor, University of Jos, Professor Sebi Sebastian Memeko, notes that without TED Fund, the fate of tertiary education would have been in jeopardy.
I've created what people can see, what we can call the value addition to this system. People have been there for this university, and we thank them immensely.
Key players including National Universities Commission and National Association of Nigerian Students lauded stakeholders for the initiatives. In Jos, Belkisu Nuhu, NTA News.
Plateau State government says henceforth all building applications that fail to comply with fire safety protocols will not be approved. Governor Simon Lalong said this at the inauguration of a firefighter truck donated to the state by the federal government. Priscilla Grumnan reports.
The federal government's drive to mitigate disaster and protect the lives and property of citizens is demonstrated by the ongoing distribution of 106 units of fire service trucks across states of the Federation. Plateau State took delivery of its 16,000-litre water capacity firefighting truck.
I promised the two remaining senatorial districts that before the end of the year, we'll commission 2 additional vehicles here in Plateau State. Aggressive sensitization program to enlighten members of the public on preventive measures, after which we will enforce compliance with fire safety regulations and standards.
For Plateau State government, the distribution of the firefighting truck is coming at a time it is building more capacity for emergency response, as it appreciates this gesture by the federal government.
I also want to ask our citizens to invest in firefighting facilities, such as fire extinguishers, especially within their homes and offices, so as to enable them provide first line of response before the fire service arrives in case of any fire accident.
Goodwill messages from the traditional institution and other well-wishers centered on the need for citizens to be proactive in preventing fire disasters. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
The Industrial Training Fund, ITF, says it is resolute in pursuing technical and vocational education towards addressing the high indices of poverty in the country. The Director General, Joseph Ari, emphasized this while speaking on ITF mobile phone. Ndayan Andayabagyang has more.
The Director General ITF, Joseph Ari, says the ITF mobile was produced after a critical research into the mobile market, which shows that only about 2 million Nigerians use smartphones. To further ensure smartphones are accessible and affordable to greater percentage of Nigerians, and to meet the diversification drive of the federal government, the Model Skills Training Center, MSTC Abuja, of the ITF produced the first indigenous Android smartphone.
With time, with mass production being made, we also intend that we should be able to earn some direct foreign investment by way of exporting, the product.
The DG ITF is optimistic that the smartphone will put Nigeria on a high pedestal in the Committee of Nations.
We have met with the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. We have met with NITDA. We have met with the Standards Organization of Nigeria and other regulatory agencies. At the end of the day, we will have a kind of an assembly plant in the ITF so that we mass produce the ITF mobile.
Joseph Ari says the smartphone is one of the many innovations of the fund and assured of more. In Jos, Ndanyan Andayabagyang, NTA News.
With the drive to diversify the economy through agriculture, farmers in Plateau State have been trained on how to produce improved and quality seeds to boost agriculture. Saadatu Mohammed Kafa reports that the training is at the instance of the National Agricultural Seeds Council, North Central Region.
Undergoing series of training on how to produce improved seeds, these categories of farmers have been certified by the National Agricultural Seed Council as community-based seed producers. The essence is to enable farmers at the grassroots level get access to such seeds, as well as encourage bumper harvest, thereby promoting food security. Plateau State Commissioner for Agriculture commended federal government's initiative, saying the state government has already keyed in that direction. He assured farmers of an enabling and secured environment for their farming activities.
In the agronomic sector too, we have to consider the viability of the seeds of all the assorted crops to ensure that we have high-yielding variety. We also have resistant variety, because it's not just about productivity, it's all about the quantity and quality assurance. And if we must get it right from our communities, we have no choice than to collaborate with the technical development partners to ensure that the right thing is done.
Stakeholders identified agriculture as a very critical sector, hence the need for farmers to acquaint themselves with modern techniques.
Since most of the formal seed companies cannot penetrate the hinterland, so there's a need to develop capacity at the local level for quality production. Now, why this dovetailed into the Mr. President drive for economic diversification is, you will agree with me that agriculture is the greatest contributor to our GDP today.
Some beneficiaries expressed gratitude for the training, as it will go a long way to promote food sufficiency.
Once we get the certificate, we can produce a good quality seeds in this country. So as now we have been trained and will continue to be trained in this field, we want food to be available to each farmer and all people in this country to enjoy food in their table.
The training is being replicated in other geopolitical zones across the states. In Jos, Saadat Muhammad Kafa, NTA News.
With me in the studio is the Regional Director, National Agricultural Seeds Council, Mewaazi Abu Bardi. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's begin this way. Recently, the National Agricultural Seeds Council, North Central Region, trained some farmers to become community-based seeds producers.
Yes.
As convener of the exercise, we want you to shed more light on the training.
Thank you for having me here. National Agricultural Seed Council is an agency in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture that has the mission to promote rapid expansion of agriculture by creating the most dynamic and research-oriented farmer-supportive seed development and production agency in the West Africa. The mandate of the National Agriculture is to regulate seed quality so that farmers who are the end users of this resource will enjoy when they buy and plant on their fields. The quality there is, you see, when seed is not of standard, if you see it on the field, the uniformity will not be there in terms of height, in terms of color, and even when it ripens, there will be variation in the ripening period. And so, a farmer who is practicing a large scale will find it difficult to employ a machine, especially the combined harvester, to harvest these crops. And even our small-scale farmers in a farm that has different ripening period may find it difficult to harvest because it will be tedious. You harvest this one today, you allow the other one to ripe tomorrow, and then you go. No, it is a wasting of time and wasting of resources. But a quality seed will ripe at the same time. The height will be uniform. The color will be uniform. Even when you cook it, the palatability will be there. But a seed that was not of quality and was planted, when you harvest, everything is mixed up. Eating it will not be a palatable food. So we have this mandate to regulate the quality seed to ensure that farmers buy good seed for their farms.
Okay, now we know that most farming activities take place in rural areas. Now, how can farmers at the grassroots access such varieties of seeds?
Yes, the farmers will have access to such varieties. If you look at, since the inception of this administration, my Director General, in the person of Dr. Ojo Phillips Olusegun, and the directors of the Seed Council have been working assiduously round the clock to make sure the gap between the farmers in the rural areas and the seed system has been breached. In the recent time, I think on 22nd of this month, we organized a program to present certificates to community-based seed producers. And this is just because to enable farmers in the rural area to get access to this improved seed. Those that were awarded this certificate have been trained and retrained by the National Agricultural Seed Council. This is just in the effort to make sure that there is this improved seed gets to farmers in the rural areas, and then productivity will be increased, and production will also be increased.
All right, thank you very much. Waazi Abu Bardi, Regional Director, National Agricultural Seeds Council, North Central Region, Jos. Panorama will continue after the break.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Strengthening and improving diagnostic service in line with global best practices, application of modern technology to properly detect outbreaks and interpret data on emerging disease, food and agriculture, experts say is paramount to food sufficiency and security. The Director, National Veterinary Research Institute, VOM, Dr. Mariam Mohammed, stressed this at a workshop to improve network within veterinary laboratory system. Yildik Daladi reports.
Animal diseases, their treatment and control, development and production of animal vaccines, as well as surveillance and diagnosis, are key elements of sustainable animal production for enhanced food security. To this end, the workshop, which aimed at eliminating hunger and food insecurity, increase efficiency and sustainability of agriculture, brought together public and private sector laboratory experts to brainstorm on how to provide vaccinary assistance to countries on transboundary animal health crisis.
The benefit is that we're building capacity for us to be able to detect and prevent diseases before they become a pandemic or an epidemic.
Presentation harm on effective disease surveillance and control, which experts say depends on the quality of diagnostic system, improved coordination and information exchange amongst public and private sector laboratories.
Our aim is to support the lab, or the lab of Nigeria, working in vet sector. We want to support them, private, public, university, all of them. We want them to sit and discuss and see how they can work together.
NVRI is a key stakeholder because they are the apex diagnostic lab in the country. Without diagnostics, we cannot know what the problems are before we tackle them.
The participants later visited the Central Diagnostic Laboratory, Regional Center and Laboratories. In Jos, Yildik Danladi, NTA News.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has confirmed 26 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. The states are Lagos with 13 new cases, Kaduna 4, Akwa Ibom 3, Kwara 2, Rivers 2, FCT and Gombe have 1 new case each. Nigeria now has 167,401 confirmed cases of COVID-19, out of which 163,933 patients were treated and discharged, while 2,118 deaths have been recorded so far. For sports updates.
It was a gathering of world beaters where the Nigerian Olympians Association honored Nigerians who have made the country proud at the Olympics. Welfare of these Olympians is top on the agenda of the NOA, as well as mentoring the younger ones on how to invest in their lives after sports.
But create a platform, make a policy that we think like they're making in other places, that you know that when you retire, you have something that you'll get it into, so that the transition is not going to be something difficult for you.
It's a new dawn in Nigerian sports for people who at one time or the other been able to contribute, their mettle, their God-given talent, to the development of sports.
All the persons that are here today are people that have used best part of their lives to represent this great country and to put the Nigerian name on the global map.
With the award given to these Olympians and the subsequent follow-up on their welfare, it is believed that the labor of our heroes past will never be in vain. In football, reactions have continued to trail the abolishment of the away goal rule by UEFA on Thursday. While some clubs have benefited from the advantage, the disadvantages have caused some clubs to exit major competitions.
We can't score equal number of goals and you now win a match because of where you score the goal, whether you score it away or you score it at home. Now, UEFA now realizing that if you want to enjoy football with the best of what it should be, this is the way to go.
The away goal rule has been a major part of the UEFA competition since it was introduced in 1965, but will no longer stand starting from the 2021-2022 season. With sports updates, Olalekan Kilajolu, NTA News.
Panorama today, be a star. Join NTA and stand against rape and rapists. Good afternoon.